You know, getting clicks, that's the easy part. But getting actual customers, that's a whole different ballgame. In this explainer, we're going to dive into how one of the oldest tools on the internet, yep, I'm talking about email, is still the most powerful way to turn your website visitors into loyal buyers.
So let's paint a picture, and maybe this sounds familiar to you. You've poured your heart and soul into building this beautiful online store, you're running ads, people are showing up, but they're not buying. It's so frustrating, right? So what is going on here? Where's the disconnect? Okay, so the problem is what you might call the leaky bucket of e-commerce. Just imagine you're trying to fill a bucket with water, but there's a big old hole in the bottom. All that water you're pouring in, which in our case is potential customers, it just leaks right out. Not good.
And here's the thing. These aren't just random people wandering in off the street. No, they saw your ad. They were interested enough to click. These are your people, your ideal customers. But the second they leave your site without buying anything, poof, they're gone. And all that money you spent on ads to get them there, gone with it.
And that really gets to the heart of the challenge. I mean, the source material we're looking at today says it perfectly. If you could just get their email, you'd have a direct line to bring them back, send them offers, and remind them why they were so interested to begin with.
So, how do we plug that hole in the bucket? Well, this is where email marketing steps in. Think of it as your secret weapon, a customer magnet that pulls all those interested visitors right back into your world.
And really, what we're talking about here is building an actual relationship. You know, instead of just shouting into the void with ads, you're opening up a direct conversation with people who've already raised their hand and said, hey, I'm interested in what you're doing. It's a total game changer.
Okay, so to make all this happen, you're going to need the right tool for the job. Now, the source material we're breaking down today focuses on one specific platform. It's called Omnisend. So let's use that as our example and see what these kinds of tools can actually do for you.
Basically, think of it as your e-commerce marketing command center. It gives you all the pieces of the puzzle, the pop-up forms to grab emails, the automated sequences for those welcome messages, and the drag-and-drop tools to build beautiful campaigns. And the best part is, it all hooks right into your store.
And here's something really cool that the source points out. Look at this pricing. You can actually get started for free. That's huge. It means you can build this entire system, this whole sales machine, and see it work for yourself before you ever have to spend a single dime on the software. There's literally no risk to trying it out.
All right, so enough with the theory, right? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How do you actually do this? Well, the source material gives us a super simple but really powerful 3-step plan to get this whole engine fired up and land your very first sale from an email subscriber. It really comes down to these 3 things. 1, capture. You got to get their email. 2, automate. You need to send a welcome right away. And 3, launch. You send out a campaign to get that sale. Capture, automate, launch. Let's break each one down. Okay, so first up, step 1, capture. This is all about turning someone who's just browsing into an actual contact. And the best way to do that? The good old pop-up form. When it's done right, it's incredibly effective.
But here's the key, and this is super important. You have to offer a fair trade. Don't just ask for their email. Give them something awesome in return. A 20% discount? Yes, please. Keep the form dead simple. Name, email, that's it. And a pro tip from the source is to use what's called an exit intent trigger. So just as someone's about to leave your site, bam, the offer pops up. It's a genius way to get one last shot at connecting.
All right, so you got the email. Awesome. But now the clock is officially ticking. You cannot let that new subscriber go cold. You have to act fast. Which brings us perfectly to step 2, automate. And check out how simple this is. Someone signs up, the system waits just a minute so it doesn't feel robotic, and then it automatically sends out that personalized welcome email with the discount code you promised. This thing works for you while you sleep, 24/7, making every single new person feel special the moment they join. Okay, so you've got this great system running in the background, collecting emails and welcoming people. That's fantastic. But now it's time to go on the offense. It's time for step 3, launch your first campaign and actively drive some sales.
When you send a campaign, your subject line is everything. I mean, it is the bouncer at the front door of your email. If it's boring, no one gets in. You need something that grabs their attention, feels personal, and creates a little bit of FOMO. You know, fear of missing out. A big discount with a 24-hour deadline? Now that gets people to open.
And, of course, what's inside the email has to deliver. I mean, look at the difference here.
On the one hand, you have a plain, generic text email that kind of screams spam. But on the other, you have a beautiful, branded email made with a template. It just looks professional, it builds trust, and it makes people feel way more comfortable clicking that Shop Now button.
So there you have it, the 3 steps: capture, automate, and launch. It's a simple system. But what's the real payoff here? What does all this actually do for your business in the long run?
This is really why it's so important. You stop chasing one-time sales and you start building a real community. You get repeat customers, you stay top of mind. But honestly, the biggest thing is this: you own your audience. Think about it. With social media, some algorithm change can wipe out your reach overnight. But your email list, that's yours. It's a direct, reliable connection to your customers that no one can take away from you.
So, the plan is simple, right? Capture, automate, launch. Now you have the roadmap. The only question left is, what's that amazing welcome offer going to be that you use to start building your own customer community?